79th and Halas, what it is, what it do. Since Bobby Ingham, Curtis Ennis, know that we been loyal even when we wasn't winning. A trusted source for the news. 79th and Halas.
79th and Halas fans, we are back. We are live. It is episode 205. I did not mean to rhyme with that, but we are here. Scott and Flows. We lost twice in 4 days. Well, they lost.
They lost twice.
Look, I corrected myself. Them niggas lost twice in 4 days, man. We're here. I'm in LA. Joe's in Chicago per usual. We got a lot of stuff to get into today. Bears lost a tough one on Sunday to the Minnesota Vikings. Lost another one last night to the Commanders, 12-7. I forgot the score of Sunday's game, but you were at both games. What's your initial reaction just so far? By the way, before I get to that, for anybody who's new and watching us right now, you know to follow us on Twitter at BarberChat Scott, at Flows Annalini. Follow the BarberChat Network at BarberChat.net. Follow this podcast, 79th at 79th AND Halas on Twitter. Visit the bcnet.com. Everything we got on there coming up. We got some 79th and Halas merch dropping soon on the site before the end of the year, so look out for that. Patreon.com/BarbersChat Network. You can check out Joe's on-field video from last night. Check that out. New summer sessions is up. New cinema with the guys. And then we'll be back doing the preview pods after this little mini bye. So, yeah, let's just get right into it, man. Let's just get right into it. How you feel after these? You've been moving around a lot over these last couple of days.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Back full time in the beat. How you feeling?
Exhausted. Full-time job. Back in the beat. I'm not back, but just, getting to my routine. I'm tired. This is just really what it is. Just tired. Not being able to just take a rest and then having to watch trash football. It's annoying, but I'm not really shocked. This is what happens. We were talking about this is what happens when you invest solely into the defense. And of course, you can say, yeah, he had Doug Kramer as a center in offense, Braxton Jones, Velus Jones, but how many of them? Where is the impact coming from? Braxton Jones was a turnstile, was getting beat up every single play. It was annoying. It was annoying seeing what I saw on the field, and it didn't make it any better that it didn't seem to be any adaptation coming from Getsy and Flus. So, going back to, Braxton Jones' return style, Sam Mustipher is still starting. I get it. Luke Patrick, the rush back, Cody Whitehair, put Riley Reef at guard, put Lucas Patrick at center in his natural position. But you have all that. Your wide receivers are not catching passes. For all that Dante Pettis did, he missed the ball when it counted. You can say, yeah, he got pass interference, but the ball hit him in his hands. And Darnell Mooney, who's not a number one, is called to get a jump ball, and he's 5'11". Probably shorter than that. When he was out there in cleats walking, and remember last year interviewing him in cleats outside of the locker room, I was like, Nick, I'm taller than you. So this is clearly not someone who's taller. He's your number one receiver, actually get a jump ball. Perfectly placed ball because this was coming out of shotgun. This was coming out of under center, not shotgun. So Justin just can't snap and turn. Justin has to drop back, then turn. And so Justin has to make that a jump ball, especially where the defender is at. Put in a good place, and it still was not converted. It's appalling. It's appalling what we're watching. But at the same time, this is what happens when you go all in on defense. And you can say, oh, man, our defense look good, held them under 100 yards. I'm like, that's fine. But when it mattered most, you ain't do it. You know what I'm saying? When it matters most, you gave up a long drive. And to a team that averages under 90 yards rushing a game, they're not a good team. A team you should have summarily beat. And this is what you got. Velus Jones, 25-year-old rookie, can't field punts when all he did in his main specialty at Tennessee was returning. And he looks terrified on the ball. I've never seen somebody muff 2 punts in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
He looks terrified getting the ball. I'm like, what are you doing? The game was essentially lost 2 weeks in a row because of a muff punt. And now you got to get to Treston Ebner to be the returner, and he may have a solidly can catch the ball, but he ain't a good returner.
Nope.
So now the Bears in a mess of their own making. And then there's a lack of complimentary football. That's cool with the hits mentality and all that, but where's the complimentary football? You have a Justin Fields run for about 50 yards to get you to the 6-yard line. You got 45 seconds left. Now, of course, some people would think, well, you don't have time to move it. All of those are going to be passes outside of one. You see them with wide splits, run the ball. If there's anyone who's special at that, David Montgomery. Sit yourself in shotgun, let David Montgomery take the ball up. Maybe he'll get you a couple more yards. And then the most that will take is 15 seconds. You have 30 left to throw passes into the end zone. You're not going to miss any time. You got 3 other chances, and you're not going to miss any time. Why not get a runoff? Okay, you're not going to run. What's the goal here? We're going to sit back in the pocket. No pocket manipulation. And what I mean by that is a rollout. Even a stretch play with a running back, if you're going to run it, bootlegging, jet sweep, something to get yourself out of the main position you stay in from just dropping back. 3-step drop. Sit down there, find it. This is the end zone. It's the most crowded place on the field. You can drop back when you're at your own 40. You got 60 more yards to cover. Same as when you're at your own 20, or even when you're at their 20. It's still some space in there. But when you're in the end zone, man, that's a 10-yard lengthwise to try and cover. And that's tough for any team in a situation to try to find somebody. That's why you manipulate the pocket. You move them around. You let people leak out. And then top it all off, you have Bears fans who you just don't know ball. And the thing is like yesterday during the press conference, Pat Finley asked a really good question. Do you think Justin took a step back or step forward?
Shout out to Pat.
Simple question. Not biased, no agenda. And he was clear. He said, yeah. So I was like, you think he took a step forward afterwards? I'm like, what are we doing? We're professionals here. We're really approaching with that tone. And then you have to see him stubborn. Well, say what you said. Stand on it. He said, yes. Simple as that. And I think Bears fans have to understand that some of you all just don't understand the game.
No.
Some of you all don't understand the game. A lot of you do. A lot of you have good analysts, good analysis. But I remember looking at the Ryan Griffin missed touchdown. And I said, ooh, Ryan Griffin kind of stopped in his route there. Somebody commented, you're really going to blend in on Ryan Griffin? I was like, well, here's the thing. I'm in a press box. I can see the whole play unfold. It's the same thing if you would be at Soldier Field from the stands. You would see the whole play unfold.
Right.
And I believe it was Herb Howard of the Bigs who said they're going to go to Griffin or they're going to the right side. So my eyes were that way. And I said, why did he just look back? That's typically stick your foot in the ground, go, then look back. He looked back the whole time. Now, of course, a good quarterback can adjust to that. A young quarterback who hasn't played a full season of games yet, I'm not shocked that he couldn't. So he doesn't adjust to it, and he throws to where he's supposed to be. And Ryan Griffin, who looks like he's running in lug boots, didn't work out. So, yeah. Cole Kmet, pass intended from Justin, would have been 6. In that situation, when I asked Matt Eberflus, I'm like, is that a mechanic issue? He said, no. Justin was trying to fit the pass, and he saw them pressuring the line, and he's manipulating his arm. Unfortunately, it hit off his head. He was trying to get the ball low and away so Cole Kmet could make a closer catch toward the ground. That way the receiver the DB draping him wouldn't get it. It's a good decision. It happens. If it's one thing you notice, batted balls are happening a lot more in the league. Aaron Rodgers against the Giants in London. Happened twice in one drive. And Aaron Rodgers knows how to get the ball over the offensive line, defensive and offensive line. That's what he does. Bat it. It happens. Defensive linemen, more so than ever before, are trying to get your hands up when you see him moving. And so quarterbacks have to learn to manipulate. But you can avoid that by manipulating the pocket as an offensive coordinator. And I think what has worried me the most, because I still think Justin had a fine game. Nothing made me panic. Nothing. First half, I'm like, yeah, you had a couple drops, interception that wasn't on him. Oh well, move
The
on.
one on Griffin is the more I looked at, and Keyshawn Johnson pointed out this morning too. That was on Griffin. He stopped running.
Yeah, simple as that. Darnell Mooney, even on that last second catch, he ran a short route. Darnell Mooney is supposed to be in the end zone, not sitting at near the pylon line, in the end zone fully. That is
Yeah.
a one read. Your best player get up and grab it and get up and grab it. And Darnell Mooney was running a shorter route. He's kind of done that often, but I didn't have an issue. The only thing that bothers me is when you ask Justin, "You have any say so in the plays?" and he was like, "No, sir, that's not my job." That's a problem. It should be a part of his job. A coach and your offensive coordinator, you should be including Justin Fields in your office. Not this is what we're going to do. What do you think about this? I remember Tim Tebow, his first year with the Broncos, runs up and tells the coach, "There's only one person who gets the ball. One person who gets the ball." Told his coach, "Nigga, I'm taking the ball." And the coach couldn't do nothing because at the end of the day, the coach ain't on the field. If a player
Yeah.
wants the ball, they're going to take it. So why not be complimentary? And I'm going to always go back to John Harbaugh because I think his handling of Lamar Jackson has been one of the greatest achievements a coach has ever made.
Yeah, they started from scratch with something with a new playbook.
You got to stop trying to fit these players into your mold because there's not really a mold for a quarterback anymore. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Pat
Josh Allen.
Mahomes, it's gone. There is no more mold.
I mean, even like
The mechanics of Josh Allen are not natural to what you not traditional, but he explodes with that.
I
If
mean,
you
there's
told him to
really
correct, I'm still talking, nigga. Shut up.
go ahead.
If you told him to correct his passing motion, he would he would hurt himself. And so there is no prototypical way to handle a quarterback. Adapt. And so, first year head coach Flus, I'm underwhelmed. First year GM Ryan Poles, I'm underwhelmed. And that's okay. Bears fans, we don't have to be in a rush to be critical. We don't have to be in a rush to be praiseworthy. With Justin, you don't have to praise him every step. You also have to criticize him every step. I think we're afraid because with Mitch, we babied Mitch as fans. Oh, Mitch is going to get there. Mitch is going to get there. Mitch, okay.
They babied Mitchell, man.
Scott babied him sometimes too.
I never babied that nigga.
It's cap.
I never babied that nigga.
You lucky your old tweets don't exist no more because nigga, yeah, I know
What?
you did.
What Future say? Never happened. Never
People
happened.
like, oh, he's showing signs, especially when Mitch throws a
I said
TD
that,
game, 6 TD game. That is all air quotes, but he has that. You think, oh, he's going to be great. So yeah, we babied him because we thought we saw potential. You see, the Steelers, there wasn't nothing there. So Bears fans now don't want to do that anymore. Let's not baby him. Let's just be critical. You don't have to. You could just let it play out. And the game, 2 games before, like the one before the Vikings or the one before that, we did those 2 picks. He looked awful. I started thinking he's trash. He's trash. It's not gonna work. No, that was honest thoughts, and that was fair criticism because he looked terrible. You go to Minnesota, that second half when he's almost perfect, you're like, okay, that's what he can do. And you come today where he was 14 of 27. You're counting for 5 drops. You're accounting for an interception. And you're accounting, I think he had 3 missed passes where a player was open. And, you take all this into account, you say, it was an okay game. I'm not sure it's a step forward, but it's certainly not a step back. That's even in balance. And we can do that because he has not played a full season of games yet. Give him time. Josh Allen took time, and look at him now. He's incredible.
Yeah.
Am I saying he'll be that? No, I'm just saying give him time.
So after 15 minutes, I finally could talk. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to Jaleel, Debbie in the chat room. They say O-line, wide receiver, are booty cheeks. That's correct. Ebner's trash as well. That is also correct. Justin, too talented. They got to make the playbook to fit his skills. Richard Sherman called guess yet all night. Yeah, shout out to Debbie. That's what I was going to say. The national media is starting to pick up on this shit, too. Like, I watched at the end of the game yesterday, and Richard Sherman was mad like he was last week. He said this shit at halftime, and he said it again. in post game. He said, I don't understand why they're not running RPO, why they're not fixing the offense to Justin's strengths. He said it's like Lou Getsy wakes up in the middle and wakes up in the middle of the night saying, I'm gonna have my young quarterback who's already having troubles have to overcome my playbook. He said he shouldn't have to overcome anything. He said, you look at the overthrows. That's not on him. It's because he's in the fucking pocket. He said, you look at how the linebacker was able to get him on some of these plays. It's because he's not in the pocket. He said, move him around, run the ball. He said he runs a 4.4, run him out the ball, get him RPO. I don't understand why they're not doing that more. Scott Van Pelt said the same fucking thing. He's like, at the end of the day, we can't really even evaluate Justin Fields because with the Bears, what type of situation he's putting in. No quarterback is going to succeed in that situation. And then David Kaplan said the same thing. You know, Cap was like, I think this kid is going to be great if he don't get murdered. The way that it's set up right now, he's going to die. The way they got it all set up. And to me, watching these two games, like I came out of the Viking game, I wasn't upset because to me, that was a good loss. And what I mean by a good loss was Justin looked good and you still lost so you can get a high draft pick. This game pissed me off for two reasons. One, even though we lost that game, we're still a better team than the fucking Commanders. Like, honestly, that touchdown they scored, they gift wrapped to them because of the fumble. And it's like that the defense did good. Like, defense had one drive where they got drove on, but they still didn't allow a touchdown. Defense had a good game yesterday.
Kyler Gordon, really good game.
Kyler Gordon has been building the last 2 weeks.
Jalen Johnson there, nigga, made him. He could do a lot more.
Jalen Johnson is a top 10 corner in this league. I want to say top 5, but I might be putting too much dip on my chip. But at the worst, he's a top 10 corner in this league. They don't even be throwing this nigga away. And there was two bullshit pass interference calls on Jalen and on Kyler Gordon. That was terrible. The secondary, when healthy, is gonna be good. Eddie Jackson is out here tackling. He's out here tackling. That was his Achilles heel.
It's so much different when you got an actual strong safety with you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I had to apologize to Amos a couple weeks ago because I didn't know what we had just on the strong safety side. And Eddie had to play out of position for 2 years. And on top of that, dealing with all the personal stuff that we had no idea what he was dealing with. That was the first time I saw a legit pass rush last night. You know what I'm saying? Now, it might have just been from Jaquan Brisker, who Jaquan Brisker has a jump off the page type of play weekly now.
Yeah.
That pick, look, man, I don't regret none of it. Honestly, I think Kyler's going to be good. You should have went George Pickens.
Yeah. I don't regret Jaquan because clearly Jaquan was the first round talent that dropped.
So we're going to look at this a couple years
from now. If you went
now.
George Pickens, then Jaquan Brisker, I don't think me or Scott would be upset. We'd be like, okay, Jaquan Brisker, that's a good pick. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. George Pickens, that's a good pick. Oh, Jaquan, he's still up here? That's a good pick. Jaquan is clearly should have been picked first. I mean, should have been picked in the first.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Pickens still on the board when Velas got drafted? Okay, so then you could realistically you could have had Kyler Brisker.
Let's double check that though. Always want to be as accurate as I can.
Yeah, let's double check that because we did. There's no excuse. There's no excuse whatsoever.
George Pickens was drafted. No, he was around there when Kyler was about to get drafted. He was drafted in the second round. Pick 52. So he was near Kyler, not Jaquan, not Velas.
Okay. So he was drafted before Brisker?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There were still other receivers that was available. But this is the thing that pissed me off. It wasn't a loss. It wasn't a game. I don't care about them. We said this in preseason. And by the way, a lot of Bears fans, a lot of fans of this podcast owe me an apology. You know how many people y'all got on my ass when I said early on when the Ogunjobi signing got fucked up? I'm like, it's not good for a GM to not know the details of physicals for him to be failing that shit. Boy, everybody cussed me out. He's not like Ryan Pace. You got to give him a shot. And by the way, I never said he was Ryan Pace. I'm not saying he's Ryan Pace now. I'm just saying I saw alarming stuff at the beginning of his tenure. I saw alarming stuff at the draft. This is the stuff that we're saying now that we see how this team is playing with guys like Dante Pettis and stuff like that. No, we said before the draft, George Pickens was on our wide receiver list. What did I do when Kyler Gordon got drafted? I got the fuck up from the draft table and I went and took a fucking walk in the Caesars Forum because I couldn't believe they drafted a fucking defensive player when you got this young quarterback. So my worry is that this is a system that Justin's going to that they're gonna destroy Justin. Like, where is Like who can like I don't like I'm gonna give a prime example. You see what's happening to Matt Stafford and with the Rams, G. He's got sacked 25 times, most by any quarterback in the league. And he has actual weapons. And honestly, his offensive linemen are still on paper better than the Bears' offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So if Matt Stafford, who is miles better than Justin Fields at this point in his career, obviously, he knows McVay's offense like the back of his head. He can't run it because he's getting tackled. So if this dude can't do it, what you expect Justin to do in a new offense? And it's another bad thing. And I'm not here to Luke Gessie is rookie offense coordinator. He's gonna go through his offense through his ups and downs. But this is the problem I have. Why are you hiring a rookie offensive coordinator to go with your really rookie quarterback? Now you have double growing pains. And it's just like, I don't know what is the plan. Like, what is the plan going forward to make this dude grow? Because the talent is there. Like we saw them with throws. Yep. That type of stuff is why I can't give up on him. And here's something that Brooke Pryor on Get Up said this morning. She said she has a lot of faith in Justin Fields. She said the Bears drafting Justin Fields is like when you purchase a BMW in Pittsburgh in March and you drive it off the lot and you hit it straight into a pothole. He said, if you don't take care of it, this car is going to end up on cinder blocks. That's a perfect example. It's great that like this is the most talented quarterback the Bears have had. I mean, Jay was talented, but this dude he's been talked about since he was in high school. And this is and the fucked up shit about it as a Bears. I know you feel the same way. I get terrified when a Bears quarterback throws the ball. I get terrified when it's third down. Because we never seen this stuff go right for us. Yeah. Ever. So this is going from top down. So basically my whole thing, long story short, what's the plan?
Yeah.
What is Foles' plan?
I don't know his plan. It seems like it went Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon are our day one starters. Now it's just time to get some depth on the roster. And if you drafted Braxton Jones, Doug Kramer, Velus Jones to be Dominic Robinson to be depth, that's fine, I guess, because sometimes it's hard to find bona fide starters past the third round. But, of course, we've seen it happen before. So I'm okay if that was the plan. But the problem is, why was it the plan? I mean, yeah, because David Montgomery's a third-round pick, so why was it the plan? Why wasn't your plan get my young QB some receivers first and foremost? Why do you need to fix the defense first?
Yeah.
You gutted it already.
Exactly.
Take your time. It may be Huff. You may give up a lot of touchdowns. Are you expecting to win this season? No. Like as a head coach right now, as a GM, I wouldn't be concerned with the wins and losses. Now, of course, that seems antithetical to what you normally see in a head coach and someone who's in professional football. You always got to care about the wins and losses. Really, though?
You got a locker room in there. They're going to turn on you if you don't care about the wins and losses.
And I'm not saying we'll go out and the bullshit. No, do your job. Prepare. Play these games. Try to win. Do everything in your power. But from an executive standpoint, I'm not going to judge my coach based on how many games they're going to win. Especially if you're analytical, I would think this team's winning 5 games, if that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have them winning 6 even seems like a stretch at times right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't better than the Lions.
And here's the question. And shout out my homie
Worst
Mike.
team in the NFC North.
I got even bigger question for you. Shout out my man Mike. He was at the game too. He thinks that this team is the worst team in football.
Could be.
And I didn't have a solid argument to rebuttal.
Could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just bad. And look at the schedule. When is the next win? Like, of course, they're not going to go.
None of them look like wins.
Like, of course, I don't think they're going to go the rest. They're not going to go. How many more games they got left? They had 6. They played 6 games. So they've got 9, 11. No, you got 11 more. So I don't think they're going to go on 11. But you can't look at that list and definitively say this is a win. Because the Giants in this game were supposed to be the wins. Those supposed to be the 2 that you got right there. Now it's supposed to be your 4 wins. You're going to lose to the Patriots next week.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn who they starting the quarterback. You give Bill Belichick 11 days to scheme, bye.
Yeah.
On the road, and it's going to be another national TV embarrassment. Then after that, you got the Cowboys. It don't matter who it is, Cooper or Dak, and that defense is great.
They're gonna smoke you.
Ezekiel Elliott, they can't the fucking Bears can't guard nothing on the run game.
They don't know what to do with the inside zone.
So they're gonna get run on in that one. Then you got the Miami Dolphins. Tua should be back by then. Even if it's not, you tell me Teddy Bridgewater can't beat these niggas? He can beat them. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, they're gonna get busy. The Lions come to town. That's the law. Like you just keep going further and further. Like,
I wouldn't be shocked if they lost every game of the season.
And here's the thing: it's not like the Bears have one hole; they have multiple holes.
They have a terrible defensive line. They have a terrible offensive line. They have a terrible linebacking core.
They have no wide receivers.
They have a terrible skill group.
Yeah.
So what's the strength? Your cornerbacks.
So here's the thing:
it's 2 players.
I think that we should try. I think they should. I think they should trade Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
And this only has half to do with me feeling he's just not a game-changing linebacker. I think he's a really good linebacker. You know, somebody tweeted out, he leads NFL tackles. Okay, cool. Where's the splash plays? Like, you don't know when Roquan's on the field a lot of times.
Nope.
You know when Fred Warner's on the field. You know when Bobby Wagner's on the field. You know when Shaq Leonard is on the field. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. If you're going to be paying this guy, he's going to set the market because, once again, it's not about the player. It's about the market when it comes to these contracts. He's going to set the market. So if you're going to pay him to be the highest paid linebacker in the league, you need to make some splash plays. But you got so many other holes on this team. Trade him and get some picks back so you can fill those other holes up. And the other thing, they should have traded Robert Quinn when he had some value because I be forgetting he on the damn team now.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Robert Quinn. Cool dude. Every time I see him at the facility, he's cool to me. Love Robert Quinn. But what the fuck, dog? Like, it's looking like the year before last.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they need to figure out ways. And, like, let's just say the Bears are going to have a top 3 pick. They're going to have a top 3 pick. So here's the question. Do you go offensive line or do you go wide receiver? That's a legit tough
offensive
question.
Line.
I'm with you.
I'm not really. You got Jackson Smith and Jigba, but because he's been injured this year, he still can go first round. Don't get it wrong. They probably still will, but I want a lineman. You got to protect your quarterback. My choices will probably be offensive lineman, receiver, offensive lineman. Offensive lineman, receiver, offensive lineman. Because let me just think about it. So you have, who do I think will remain with the team? Cody Whitehair, solid guard. When he's healthy, he's going nowhere. Your center position. Will Lucas Patrick end up being good at center? I hope. So if he does, you have 2 linemen who I'm settled on. Outside of that, I'm not settled on anybody else. That's 3 other linemen. So what's your best? You need to get a good tackle. Get a great tackle. Yeah. You get a great tackle, you have 3 offensive linemen and a whole side of the line that you know is rock solid. You can work with that. Then go receiver. I'm not really too high on this receiving core for this year. I think the year after, when wide receiver 88 Junior comes out, it'll be better. Nice. It'll be better. I'm not too high on this year. I thought last year had a lot of wide receivers. This year, I'm not too settled on it.
But that's the thing too, because the free agent list ain't nice. There's a lot of mid. No. Now here's a question. And we were talking about this too,
but in the offseason, you picked up Dante Pettis and Echo St. Brown.
Bro. And I still think EQ got a little juice in him, but whatever. He's still not a top
I think EQ can be a number 4, you know. If you had a bona fide number 1 and number 2, I think he can find himself find himself the ball. The problem is his separation is
everybody on his team separate. And then Mike hit me yesterday after the game. He said, I finally know what you and Flows be talking about. He said, from that high up, you can see these wide receivers don't be getting open. I'm like, gee, we've been saying this. They don't get open, G. Like, they really don't. And that's why, like, screenshot Twitter pisses me off. Like, that Dave Montgomery shit yesterday, like, bro, this is not Madden. It's like his 5th option, bro.
I don't know if people understand. You only get to your 5th option when you have like 6 seconds of time in the pocket.
Bro.
It's 2022, you don't get that. On top of that, 1 read is 1 read, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't get the type of time in the league.
And his number 1 read was open. So it's like
Why am I going to waste time looking back towards Darnell Mooney, especially when I can't even see him because I'm running a 3-step drop. My eyes are this way. David Montgomery's behind me. Do I have eyes in the back of my head? Just stupid. So it's.
But here's a question I have for you though. So David Kaplan says something needs to change over these 11 days. I was like, I don't know what the hell's going to change, but would you trade a 5th rounder to the Panthers for DJ Moore?
Yeah,
I would do it. I would do it because you have to do something. And I'm not too high on DJ Moore.
Here's the changes that I would make. I would start looking at suitors for Roquan.
Right now at the deadline.
I would seek to trade him immediately.
Yeah, I'm with you.
As much, and I think Roquan will go be great on the team, but there's no reason to hold on to him. You need players. With that, what if you get a receiver, maybe an offensive lineman, maybe you get yourself a guard, find something, trade him. Second, Sam Mustipher would be benched, and I wouldn't start him again. Lucas Packer's going to have to play center. Put a cast on. How hard is this? Put a cast on. Snap. Exactly. Put a cast on. Snap. In addition to that, I would probably try Dante Pettis at returning. Dante Pettis has enough speed. Get him return. Treston Ebner is not it. Velus Jones is shaking in his boots right now. Try Dante Pettis at receiving. But if you can't get it, you're gonna have to try it out N'Keal Harry and Darnell Mooney are your number 1 and number 2.
I know.
If N'Keal Harry couldn't make it with the Patriots, I don't have high hopes.
N'Keal Harry couldn't make it with the greatest quarterback of all time. I am not holding my breath for him to make it with Justin Fields. And that is peak. And I'm going to be real. Even if N'Keal Harry plays well, I am very much a process over results guy. Because that would be some Elvis Andrews shit with the White Sox. I don't give a damn how great N'Keal Harry plays.
Did N'Keal Harry play with Tom Brady?
Yeah, the last year.
Last year.
His last year. And also, Debbie said Roquan is step too late. Yeah, Roquan has been looking real slow. There's no reason he should have got trucked by fucking Carson Wentz.
Yeah, truck. He got blocked. He got pancaked.
And speaking of Carson Wentz, has there been any quarterback who had a bigger fall off than him? He was an MVP candidate before he tore his ACL.
Now he looks awful.
This nigga is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Like top 2. Like is one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the league. It don't make no sense. But yeah, I would trade Roquan at the deadline. I would do some NBA type shit. Because you don't really see that many deadline deals in the NFL.
Nope. Which is why I'm not holding my breath. I'm just talking.
Of course not. But look what the Panthers are selling assets like Michael Jackson. They didn't already fired Matt Rule. You know what I'm saying? I think they're trying to position themselves to get Sean Payton out of that booth so he can be GM and coach. I would say, look, 5th rounder. And then somebody said, oh, well, that's not enough. And I forgot what Shaw's watching. He's like, man, Randy Moss went for a 5th rounder. DJ Moore go for a fucking 5th rounder. So you get that. And I think DJ Moore is probably in the same level as Darnell Mooney. But if you have 2 of them, right, exactly. You have 2 of them.
If we clone Darnell Mooney and there were 2 Darnell Mooneys, I would be okay with that.
Right, exactly. And the one thing I will say, I'm going to give Komet a little love. He been getting open these last 2 games.
Yeah.
Justin got to hit him, and also Getsy's got to scheme him more. Like Getsy don't be, it's like Getsy had a really good first half calling plays. Second half, I don't know what the hell he's doing. When Justin made that big run that could have won, that almost won the game, 4 downs, you don't do one run play. Like do one, at least one. If that don't work, whatever. And I don't know if you're peeping this. Maybe this is just my, keep my third eye open. I feel like they ain't giving Demo enough carries because they don't want to pay this nigga.
No, I don't think so. 1, he's coming off of injury. 2, he was not finding a hole yesterday. Just wasn't. I saw it as it happens. I said, ooh, he's getting hit every time he touches the ball.
Well, that last drive, one of the last couple drives was a lot of Demo on there. He was doing good. Yeah,
so no, I don't think that. And then the Khalil Herbert run, it was a lucky run because he got pulled toward the right side. Simple as that. So no, I don't. They have a really good line, and the biggest rush, you take in Khalil Herbert's rushing, you take in Justin rushing for damn near 100 because he scrambled out the pocket. So I'm not gonna. It just wasn't a good game, and there was nothing available. As much as people praise Braxton Jones, I just do not like him. Not as a person.
They like the story of Braxton Jones, and
not as a person.
Braxton's a cool guy. He's an easy dude to talk to. You want to talk to him, he's always down for an interview. I have no problem with Braxton Jones. I'm gonna keep saying this, but he's a 5th round draft pick. And he should not be started.
He did not. He does not look good this season.
It's just that fucking simple.
He has been a turnstile. There's so many plays where he didn't even block it in. You saw a DB running up. He's, of course, it's your cornerback blitz. Push him. He ain't going to try to do a move at the line. That ain't what he got. Push him.
Shout out to Juan. He says, Poles missed on every pick so far outside of Briscoe. Outside of Briscoe is looking shaky. And this is what I'll say about Vilas, though.
I still like Kyler. I don't
have no problem with Kyle either. But this is what I'm going to say about Briscoe. Not Briscoe, but
Doug Kramer, the injured reserve.
So I'm going to say about Vilas. Offensively, I liked what I saw. They need to use him more the way they've been using him. He has his speed. Use it. That's all I'm saying.
Drag.
Arrow. Bro, how many times we slants? More fucking slants. It's like this team doesn't do shit that every other team in the NFL does.
Slants. It annoys me.
It's ridiculous.
Carson Wentz got at least 10 passes from slants. Slants, drag route, arrow route. Let him work. It's clear when he gets his hands on the ball, he still knows how to move around. Let him work.
Yeah.
If he's not returning, that's okay. That's okay. Let him catch. Let him be a gadget player and catches the ball and moves. That's all you need him for. Why draft him and then not use him? Like, he's been healthy for several weeks now. Use the player. I don't understand it's stupid. It's just a situation where
it don't make sense.
I would like to have got offensive-minded coaches, but these offensive-minded coaches are stupid.
But here's the thing. I don't care about the defensive, offensive-minded coach. Just hire experienced people. Now, what did I say? I was team Dabo all offseason. I said, Dave, that's who I wanted. That's what shout out my man 312 Darius who apologized to me on Twitter because I told him I wanted Dabo. He was like, I want that fat nigga. No, look what he's doing with the Giants. Now, by the way, the Giants are hustling backwards because they need to lose because we all know they're not bringing Dan Jones back. But he has the team prepared. Scheme-wise, it looks better. Like, even look at Miami, bro. Look at the scheme, the offensive plays. It just looks smart. Look at the difference in the Niners' run game since Mike McDaniel left. That's offensive mind. And I'm not, out on flukes or whatever, but it's just like some stuff that's just nothing with this franchise makes sense. Like, and I think that's the thing we saw from a lot of Bears fans. And I know a lot of Bears fans think the Bears media out to get the team, which is ridiculous. Do you understand how much trash fucking football these niggas have watched? I'm exhausted. This is my second year covering the team. This is your third. We exhausted. They've been covering this shit longer than us. So imagine how much bad football they got. And it's like the Bears make something that even the worst team in the NFL make look easy. The Bears make look hard. They won an entire game and scored 7 points. Like, what are we doing? This is remedial shit. And it's gonna be a long 11 games, man. This is gonna be. I wish for the Chicago sports fan, man. Look, I wish I could tell you watch the Bulls, but the first time I'm gonna see Zach go 105 and kick it out the Drummond for a 3-pointer, I'm gonna throw something. So it's like, they'll be better. The Bulls are the best team in Chicago by default right now.
Yeah.
Both baseball teams are ass. The Blackhawks are rebuilding. I wouldn't be shocked if Kane and Tay is on another team by the end of the year.
Yep.
And the Bears are the worst team, maybe top 5 worst team in sports.
Yep.
So by default, in the sky, Candace Parker might be retiring.
Yeah.
So the Bulls are the best team by default. So
Sky probably the best team by default. They won a playoff series.
They didn't win a playoff series this year.
Didn't they?
No, they lost. No, they did win a playoff series. They lost in the second round though.
Lost to the champs, right?
No, they to the eventual champs. Yeah. Yeah.
So I get Sky the best then.
Sky the best then. But yeah, it's just bad, man. It's just like this is why I'm legit worried about.
The Bears are going to lose the rest of the games this year.
They're not going to go 0-11, but I will say they're not winning more than 11. I don't think they're going to win more than one more.
They will know the pain of being almost 0-17.
I think this team's going to be 3 or 14. I truly do.
One more win.
Yeah, I think one more win. One more win. You know what I'm saying? And they said, Jaleel said, I went to the first 2 games to see how bad it is. The person is frustrated. Look, man, if you pay for these tickets, man, God bless y'all. God bless y'all. I'll be exhausted and I don't pay for them. Like, it's just my guy Mike was like, man, you have to go to them games. You be frustrated. He went yesterday and I hit him with the Denzel. Not funny anymore, is it? No, it ain't funny anymore. Not even a little bit. This team just takes so much out of you. And it's just, I don't get angry at it. It's just like, bro, it beats you down.
Yeah.
And I'm scared that Justin's gonna get hurt because he's taking blows like the whole second half, like even on the
It just
touchdown.
reminds me of Matt Stafford in Detroit in those like first 5 years, and he was just
No,
getting
reminds me of
murdered.
Jay Cutler in 2010.
It remind me of Matt Stafford in the first few years, brother. Matt Stafford
Yeah.
was getting killed every
Yeah.
game.
Remember that game that Jay got sacked 9 times by the Giants? 9. He got sacked 80 times in a year.
Yeah.
In 16 games, that's nuts.
It is.
And so it looks like that. And I don't know if Justin got the best knees ever, pause. But this is like his knees be turning he had the knees that D Rose should have had because he just don't be hurt. And then he'll go up there and I think Justin is dealing with I think he's handling the situation as well as he can. And last night on the game, on the game feed, they had wide open wide receiver cam. Like this type of shit is gonna keep coming to Justin because he's the quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Yep. And everybody's like, why they keep putting the Bears on TV? And this is the thing I don't think people understand who not in Chicago. The Bears like the Knicks. No matter how bad they are, you're gonna see them on national TV multiple times a season.
Yeah.
Because it's a big fan base. They are a cash cow. And when they move to Arlington, they're going to be even more of a cash cow. That's why I don't 100% buy that the McCaskies are never going to sell the team. Because this is going to take them to officially wealthy.
Yeah.
With the money they're going to make. So I don't 100% buy they're not selling the team. And this is why the fans, you was there at the game. Mike was there. It was loud. Packed crowd. Everybody comes out on a fucking Thursday. People got to go to work next morning to see this bum-ass team. We have a diehard fan base. You know what I'm saying? We have fans across the globe. If you look at the fucking London games, you know the Bears have a massive fan base in London just off the 85 team.
Yep.
There's members of the Ted Lasso crew cast who had on Bears fucking jackets at the game, give them the only teams they know about out there in London. So imagine if they can just not fumble this and have Justin even be a top 10 quarterback, Justin even a number 8 quarterback in the league, this team is going to go. This franchise is going to go to heights we've never seen before. They just can't fuck it up. No. And the worst thing about it is next year they got to make a decision on this 5th-year option. And then everybody, and for those of you say draft another quarterback, I'm going to tell you why that don't matter. If the system's broke, it don't matter who the fuck you bring in here. You can trade Justin for Patrick Mahomes today. Pat's not doing what he does in this system because he ain't going to have no time to throw. It's just that damn simple. There's no quarterback in the league who is going to do well in this shit system. And I just feel bad for him, man. I really feel bad for Justin. He said, I used to be watching the Bears 20 years, haven't seen functional offense. Only 1 year, 2013. The first year Trestman offense. And then we just happen to have the worst defense.
What about that Josh McCown era? Like 10 games where niggas just start taking off.
It was better than it is now, but the actual only time I remember these niggas having a top 5 offense was 2013. They had the number 2 offense in the league.
Yeah.
With Jay, Alshon, B. Marsh, Forte. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That was the last year before the offensive line got god awful. Mm. And this is stuff that the Bears do. Like, even if you go, this is a team that passed over Bruce Arians. This guy was offensive coordinator of the year. The Steelers won a championship with Ben Roethlisberger. And you take a CFL coach. So it really don't matter who the GM. It don't matter who the coach is. Until George and them understand, until they get their head straight and know what the fuck they got to do, I'm worried it's never going to change. That's what I'm worried about. So, do we have any voicemails? Because I really don't have nothing else to talk about. We don't have any. So I guess our fans have been beaten into submission too.
Well, it was a late game. So, and then, it is what it is. It
is what it is. But it's a mini bye week. The Bears are off for the next 10 days. They don't play again to October. You understand? You're happy I can watch football with no stress this week?
I'm not even probably gonna watch on Sunday any football.
Oh, you got me, nigga. Bills Chiefs play on Sunday, nigga. I'm
talking to one of our colleagues who's a journalist, been there for several years. He said, man, football kind of has become a job where, it's my job to watch it, and the job I watch is terrible football. So sometimes I want to get away from it. I'm getting that move. I want to get away from football for a little bit. So I'm just gonna take my time and probably just
watching the Bears has become a job. Watching the football has not become a job to me, but watching the Bears is definitely a job. 100%. But so next week we back. I will probably do it on The game probably be late by your time when it goes. So we'll probably do it on the 25th, the day after.
Yeah.
Which is the day for my birthday. Real nigga birthday coming up. But you know to follow us on Twitter at Barbchair Scott. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate everybody in the chat spending y'all Friday with us. We appreciate all y'all. So you know follow us on Twitter at Barbchair Scott, at Flo Zandolini, at 79th Halas, at 79th AND Halas. Also shout out to our guy Braggs. He gave us a shout out on the CHGO pod last night. So shout out to Braggs. Follow the Barbers Chair Net at Barbers Chair Net on Twitter and Instagram. Visit thebcnet.com. And yeah, man, we'll holler at you. Oh, yeah, patreon.com /Barbers Chair Network, man. So